Hello everyone and welcome to Tea Time Crochet. Today we're going to be making this really pretty sunflower candle holder. So the candle just sits in the middle like that. This is what it looks like. It has double layers. It's kind of three-dimensional. And I think it's just really cute. You could do it in as many different colors as you would like. I think it would look really pretty in red for Christmas. But since sunflowers are my favorite, I made it in brown and yellow. So to get started, the things that you're going to need are just some scrap yarn. I just have some leftover Red Heart Super Saver. It's in brown. And then I have just some yellow, and this one's in bright yellow. You're going to need a crochet hook that goes with your yarn. So I'm going to be using a 5.5 millimeter hook. You'll also need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle with a large eye. So we're going to be starting off with the brown. Okay, so you're just going to want to do a slip knot. And then we're going to chain 3. And then we're going to join with this first chain. And then we're going to be working into this little ring that we've created right here. So to start off with, you're going to want to chain 3. I'm going to do an alternative double crochet, which is a single crochet chain 1. And then we're going to do 11 double crochets into this ring. So to start off with, we're going to go through the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And we're going to repeat that until we have a total of 12, including this first chain 3. So I will meet up with you when I'm done with that. Okay, I've completed my total of 12. You want to make sure that you go back and count and you have the exact number of 12, because that's going to it will determine how many petals we can fit in. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of this chain 3. And then we're going to just give our center a little tug, and that will close up this ring right here. So to start off with, we're going to chain 3. So I'm going to do my alternative double crochet, and I'm going to go into this first stitch, do a single crochet and a chain 1, or your chain 3, and then I'm going to go back into that stitch and I'm going to do a double crochet. So for this first stitch we have our chain 3 and then a double crochet all into the same stitch. Now into the next stitch we're going to put 2 double crochets. So every stitch is going to have 2 double crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will meet up with you at the end. Okay, I've made it back to my last stitch and I put my 2 double crochets into it. That will give me a total of 24 double crochets. So go back and make sure that you have a total of 24, and then we're going to slip stitch into the top of this chain 3. And then we're going to fasten off because we're done with the brown. So this is what you should have so far. Okay, to start off, we're going to, this first row of petals is only going to be into the front loops. So I hope you're able to see that with the yarn being so dark. But you have 2 loops here. So you have the back loop and then the front loop, and we're going to be working this first row of petals into only the front loop. So this first one's probably going to be a little tight from where you tied off. I'm going to attach my new yarn to the front loop of where we tied the brown off, and I'm just going to tie it on. And then only going through the front loop, I'm going to pull up a loop and then just give that a little tug. And that's just going to secure our yarn. So for our first petal is going to be into this same loop. All of these stitches that I'm going to show you is all going to be put into this first loop that we were just on. So to start our petal, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a half double, two double crochets, a treble, and then we're going to chain 3 because we're going to make a little picot on the top to give it a little point. And then we're going to slip stitch back into the top of this treble crochet. And give it a little tug to secure it. And then we're going to do 2 more double crochets. It's 1, and this is 2. Then a half double, then a single. And that completes our first petal. So we have our chain 1, our half double, 2 double crochets, a treble, a chain 3, and then a slip stitch to the top of Watson. And then a slip stitch to the top of the treble, and then 2 double crochets, a half double, and a single, all into this first stitch. Now into the next stitch we're going to do a slip stitch. So only in the first loop, or the front loop. I'm going to do a slip stitch and give it a little tug, and then into the stitch after that we're going to slip stitch again, and then we're going to do a single crochet all into the same stitch, a half double crochet, two double crochets, a treble crochet, chain 3, and then slip stitch into the top of this treble, and give it a little tug, and then a double crochet, another double crochet, half double, and then a single. And then slip stitch into the next stitch. And that is our repeat for the rest of the round. So once again, it's a single, a half double, 2 double crochets, the treble, a chain 3, and then a slip stitch into the top of the treble, 2 double crochets, a half double, and a single, and then slip stitch into the next stitch. So just going to repeat that all the way back to where we started, and then I will meet up with you there. You should have a total of 12 petals. Okay, I've made it down to my last petal. So I'm going to slip stitch over here. And then put a single crochet, a half double crochet, 2 double crochets, a treble crochet, and then I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch into the top of that treble, two more double crochets, half double, and then a single, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this next stitch, and that completes our first round. So I'm going to just kind of flip this petal forward, and this first stitch on the back is going to be a little tight because that's where we tied off before, but I'm going to slip stitch into the back loop, and we're going to start working on our next row. So the next row is completely the same as the first row, other than we're working into the back loops instead of the front loops. So to start off our first petal, we've slip stitched into it, and we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to put a half double, 2 double crochets, and it kind of helps if you like pinch these other petals forward so you can see them better. And then a treble, oops, and then chain 3, slip stitch into the top of that treble, and then 2 double crochets, half double, and then a single. So that completes our first petal on our second row. Now we're going to slip stitch into this next stitch, and then slip stitch into the next stitch. And then we're going to go back in and do another petal. Okay, and then we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that all the way around, and we'll have another total of 12 petals. So I will meet up with you when I'm completed all my 12 petals. Okay, I've made it back to my last petal, so I'm just going to put my last petal into this stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this stitch right here, the next stitch, and then I'm going to fasten off. So that completes our sunflower. You'll just need to kind of straighten your petals out a little bit, and then it'll lie flat. So I'm going to go and hide all my tails right here. So here's what it looks like when it's all finished. You'll just want to give your petals a little tug, and that will straighten them out. And then you can just set your candle right in the center. It's really cute, and it would look really nice in all different kinds of colors. As I had said in the beginning, it would be really pretty if you did like in red for Christmas, like a little poinsettia. That would be really pretty too. So thanks for watching and have a great day.